Hello, welcome back to episode 2 of our 720 owners vlog, and I'm back in the car again, only this time with a microphone. Hopefully you can hear me. Now in the first episode we discussed, I went through the idea of spacers being a nice good upgrade for all 720 owners in terms of handling. Now as much as being a good upgrade, you don't need to spend any money on your Mclaren to improve the handling, because one of the things we do recommend for all owners to have is at least an annual geometry check. Now, McLaren's one of the best attributes of the cars, in my opinion, is the handling. It's just the best thing from them. They are great handling cars. The electronics, the setup, the chassis, it's just awesome. By far, for me, the highlight of all the cars. But the downside to this setup is that it is very prone to being knocked out from potholes, curbing if you're that way, and just general driving. So we recommend you to have it checked and adjusted every 12 months as part of your servicing regime. Now, why does it go out so easily, you say? Well, one of the reasons it's so good is also one of the reasons why it's so easy to go out adjustment, in that all Mclarens have a double wishbone suspension setup, which is shared with things like Elises and Vauxhall BX220s. And it's a great setup because it enables an awful lot of adjustment, but it also has a far greater number of things to move in the event of any kind of impact which is not expecting, potholes being one of them. And obviously people who own Mclarens are driving quite hard for fun, hit the occasional pothole is quite normal, so hence geometry going out and checking. Now, before I go any further, this is not about us trying to sell geometry to people, okay? If you want to fast forward and avoid all my talking to the end of this video, there will be a link to a page that has every single Mclaren geometry printed out. You can download it and take it to your nearest wheel alignment place and say, give me that please, or at least check I still have that. Okay, so at the end of the video, scroll through to the end, be a link there, every Mclaren out there with a geometry on it, okay? You're welcome. However, just giving you the cake, just giving you the ingredients doesn't mean you know how to make a cake. And there are a lot of wheel alignment places out there who aren't really used to doing £250,000 supercar alignments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a few little things that you can look for in your car to see potentially maybe whether your geometry is out. And secondly, I'm going to go through what we do to do alignment. Ideally, show that video to your alignment place, they may be able to do it. First things first. For the most part, most people won't realise that the geometry is out. Okay, they'll be driving their car and it's insipid. It takes a while to get to realise that the things aren't working as nice as it should do. But one of the good, easy giveaways is the steering wheel. Okay, McLaren are quite particular. The steering wheel is dead straight, literally right on the button straight. So if it turns out your steering wheel is even slightly to the left or to the right, I can guarantee you your front toe or front camber is out. So that's the first indication. Secondly, as I'm driving along a dual carriageway here now, and if I do let go of the steering wheel, it will slowly drag me across to the left-hand side. That's the camber of the road. But if it starts to pull me, literally one side to the other, again, geometry is out. Things like vibration through the steering wheel are not geometry related normally. Normally they're things like wheel balance. So if you get it through the steering wheel only, your front wheels are out of balance. If you've got a vibration through the rear wheels, through the pedals, your rear wheels are out of balance. So do that separately. But if your steering wheel's not straight, or you feel some kind of pulling, or the fact it doesn't feel like it's handling very well, it used to, check the geometry first. As I said, end of this, link to all the geometry, so you can do it yourself. Now, the downside to that is that adjusting a geometry on a Mclaren, because there are so many adjustments, means it's reasonably time consuming to do and requires a bit more work than doing the average Vauxhall Corsa. For a start, first off, under trays come off, okay? That's not easy to do if you're a wheel alignment place with a 4-post ramp. In, out. They want more fast, quick and dirty jobs to get done. McLaren's not that. Allow at least 3 hours to do a geometry, okay? That's assuming you don't need a camera adjusting. Other thing about it is that there are various different kinds of wheel alignment kit. We use Hunter. It's by far probably the most popular one in the UK, probably worldwide. And what we do is we literally fit sensors to each of the wheels. We get under trays off, we get the adjustment points of all the upper and lower wishbones, track rod ends, everything you need to do, and on the camber plates. And then we adjust, then we loosen them all off, adjust the sensor of the wheels, and then they laser measure against each other to give you the setup you're expecting to have. Now, some do it by radio waves, some do it by physical wires, some by lasers, different kinds. They're all pretty much do the same thing. They're taking a measurement of the wheel and relating it to the wheel in front, and then relating it to a forward to give you a forward alignment. Hence, forward alignment. Now, the downside you have is that as a time-consuming process, most line plates like doing it, and also a bit expensive car on the tray, it's not easy to do to the process, but it can be done, and it's certainly recommended. But when I talk about geometries, what am I talking about? Well, one of my roles at Thorney Motorsport is setting up race cars for a living for ours and other teams, and it's all based on literally the four wheels are the only things that connect the car to the road, and it's the angles those are on the road are what we're generally adjusting. Now, when it comes to setups and cars, etc., there are a number of ways that we adjust wheels, etc., do things. And the main thing being, obviously, is suspension setups. These guys are looking at me for that car, aren't they? Fucking hell. I'm not going to rev it. No, I'm not going to rev it. Fucking children. Fucking children, aren't they? They really are. There we go. That's Mclarens for you. Alright, moving on. Where was I? I lost track of thought now. Well, anyway, yes, alignments. And really, there are lots. I could do a whole video about geometry setups and alignments. I really could. But really, from the perspective of what we're doing for here, most of what we're talking about is camber and toe. There's also caster and trail and Ackerman, all kinds of things. And like I said, I won't bore you to tears with a video specifically about that. There are other things that we need to do. But in terms of keeping it simple for this one, the main things we will look at for a car is camber and toe. Now, camber is how the wheels are adjusted to the floor. So there you go. That is basically nice, negative or neutral camber is positive or negative. Okay, and then you've got toe, which is how the wheels point in and out at the front. Combination of those two things will make a radical difference how the car handles. Now, there are standard setups for Mclaren, and what happens is when you hit a pothole, you knock some of those out. Normally it's toe. So left-hand pothole, for example, in the UK, left-hand road, hit one of those, I can very easily knock the front toe out, tiny, tiny amounts. But that will literally cause the rest of the car to handle really badly. It'll drag the car on left-hand corners, it'll push the car on right-hand corners. It is such a tiny differences can make a huge difference how that car handles. In terms of what we do is that we put it back to specification. We can do more than that. Track cars we do more toe, more camber, different bits we do. But just getting it back to the specifications that Mclaren set it with do make a difference. So, but it's quite important. So it's wheels off, it's sensors on, it's adjusting a variety of areas on the lower wishbone, upper wishbone, track rod ends. All these things need loosening, checking, resetting and tightening back up again. So it is quite a time-consuming process, but trust me, it's worth doing. It really is. Sadly, in 5 years of working on Mclarens, we have never seen one come in that was straight, that was to specification. That includes vehicles straight off transporters from Woking, straight out of a dealer. They're just prone to it. Do Mclaren not set them up? Don't know, but I'm hearing Ferrari just as bad. Straight out of the factory, Ferraris are never straight. So you spent your £250,000 in the car, a few £100 just making sure it's straight isn't a bad investment in our opinion. And like I said, in 5 years, we've never seen one that's straight. Not one. We actually say as part of our servicing, we'll do a free check because that convinces out. But again, because of the time-consuming process, it isn't a £95 job you can do at local quick fit type place. It does need someone who's know what they're doing. But with the link in this video, which is coming up, that gives you the suspension, the geometry you need, at least you're forewarned and forearmed to try and get the geometry you need. Okay, so episode 2 of this is simply that: get your geometry checked, get the car performing as it should do from McLaren. Hope that's useful. Excuse about the guys wanting the rev up, but you're on the McLaren, would expect. Hope to see you soon. Okay, cheers.